All right, hey y'all, welcome to TXT Tells All, or welcome back if you're one of our subscribers. So today I wanted to do something a little different. We're going on live right now. I'm sorry, it's my phone. Anyway, going on live to talk about should you try online dating, right? So I'm Tracy. For those of you who don't know me, this is my husband Jacques, and we are going to talk about online dating from actually personal experience, and we'll get into that. But right now, I'm sure y'all have seen or heard about the Tinder Swindler and all the craziness that's going on with online dating, people getting swindled out of thousands of dollars, people just not having good experiences with not having good experiences with online dating. So we wanted to talk about a little bit of the positive side of online dating. And if it goes well, it does go well for some people, and we can talk about that from personal experience. So, Jack, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Jacques, Tracy's husband.
Oh yeah, for those of you who don't know, we're actually both attorneys, so that kind of segues into, I think, a reason why a lot of people use online dating. Time, right? You don't have time. Where are you going to meet people? Like I always say, where am I supposed to meet these fantastic men? Are they going to be at work? For a lot of people, that's a no. Are they going to be in the supermarket? Maybe, like, maybe you might meet somebody in and out of doing your daily activities. But for me, back in I think it was 2013 when my friend actually first told me about Tinder. Seems like such a long time ago. But anyway, it was because where was I going to meet them? Like I was working at a law firm that probably had about 6 people, none of which were eligible bachelors for me. And it was like, where am I going to meet them? I'm at work all the time. And I was also new to Houston. So it was hard. And I felt like online just gave me more options faster, and I was able to kind of just swipe right, swipe left. I didn't use any other platforms other than Tinder. I was on Tinder for not too long, and then we met. But I know a lot of people use multiple different platforms because of the time. Like they just don't have time to meet people. What do you think? Why people?
Well, yeah, I mean, to piggyback off what you said, I always tell people that they should try because I had a good experience and because it opens up the door to you meeting new, different people that you wouldn't be able to meet in your everyday life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if we didn't meet on Tinder, I mean, maybe we would have met at court or something later, but there's a good chance that we would have never met across paths. So that's why I tell people, one, it opens up, it lets you cast like a wide net,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you know how they say sometimes you're gonna have to kiss frogs to get to the prince and things. So you need to have that wide net out there, increasing your chances and opportunities, and you weed down. And I think sometimes with this generation as well, I think especially with the lady, I think the guys do it more, but with the ladies, I would encourage the ladies to cast that wide net. And it's okay to go out on dates. It's okay to go out on dates, casual dates with more than one person. You know, a lot of ladies that I've encountered and come across is they want to date people one at a time. But I mean, we know that now, some of these old gender rules and ways how we look at things, they're changing. So I encourage ladies, hey, you can casually date 5 different guys at a time. What you do with them is your business. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like,
Right.
yeah, yeah, you can just get to know them to kind of start weeding them out because it gives you a better chance of finding that real good match. And then before I pass it back to you, Trace, I want to say that another thing is that guys, I know for the guys, not others for the ladies. For the guys, it's hard now, with the gender roles, typical gender roles with us, we usually have to be the one that goes and howls at the lady. So, I mean, unless you're just that always aggressive guy, and don't know there are some, and I know some, but
Mm-hmm.
unless you're just that guy that's always in that constant mode, unless you go to the club a lot or a bar, it's hard for you to meet somebody because you got to do it within your day to day activity. That's why I tried it because I'm not the type. I'm not gonna be handle my business at the post office and then just holler. Or like, I'm waiting behind you in some sort of line and I just, hey, let me just shoot my shot. Like, so I think it's a comfort thing as well. And it's not as much pressure.
Yeah, I think definitely all of that. And it's like, let's be honest, with Tinder and a lot of the other platforms, it allows you to look at people's pictures and then look at like a snapshot of what that person has to say about themselves, right? So you don't have to deal with like the fear of having to go up to somebody and, like he said, holler at them in the post office or whatever. But you get to see what they look like, which, let's be honest, that's what people are initially at least looking at. You get to see what they look like, and you also get to see, okay, are they, some people put, I'm a parent, for him, I know he was 6'8", a 6'8" law student. That's all he had under his pictures, of course. My thing, for the people that know me, is tall guys. I like tall guys. So I was like 6'8". I saw that. And then law student, at the time I was an attorney. I had been practicing maybe 2 years at that point. So that was appealing to me. I wouldn't have known that about him had I just seen him somewhere or met him. So it's like you kind of get a little information about the person, and then you get to decide whether or not you want to engage in further conversation with that person from the gate. So you get to, from like, I'm sitting at my desk at work or at home or wherever, and I get to kind of look through pictures and say, oh, he's attracted to me. Okay, what is he talking about? He's a law student, he's that, and then we can take it from there. Message. I think I messaged you first. And so that might not be something that I would have done if I were to see him out somewhere. I'd be like, oh, he's attractive. I'm going to wait for him to come and talk to me. But in Tinder world, I was just like, hey, I think I said to him, who would want to be a law student? Which I was, who would want to be a lawyer? And I was like, of course, being facetious because I'm a lawyer. And he caught on to it. And that's, he was like, she must be a lawyer. And that's how we started talking. So success story, we started on Tinder. A lot of people told me, not knowing, how our relationship started, like, yeah, Tinder is just for people to hook up. It never goes anywhere. And I'm just like, not really. I mean, I'm not saying everybody's story is the same, but I think online dating definitely gives you more options, especially if you're in a demanding profession where you're not really going to meet a lot of people outside of work because you're just always at work. So we want to hear from you too. Like, if you're watching, comment if you tried online dating, if it was positive, negative. Let us know what you think. I think with the whole Tinder swindler things, people are definitely going to be more apprehensive. But I always said, whether you meet somebody online or you meet them in person, you still don't know them. Like, people used to say, okay, you're going out on dates with these strangers and you don't know if they're serial killers. And I was like, if I met him at the post office, I wouldn't know whether or not he was a serial killer or not. So it just, to me, I think that idea of online dating being dangerous really didn't bother me. What about you?
Oh yeah, and just to piggyback off something you said, it's not going to be everybody's story, but then I know you told a friend how we met, and then one of your friends actually found her husband on there. So, I agree. I think the online dating helps you date more efficiently, because like Tracy said, you get to see some blurbs about what people have to say about themselves, and you can kind of start to weed out the process from there instead of the traditional way, exchanging numbers, maybe getting to know them, and now you've invested some time, and now you're like, oh man, I didn't know he had 4 kids, and that's not my thing. Online you can kind of get to those things kind of faster. And speaking of what Tracy's talking about, kind of some of the safety concerns about these online things. Some of these apps have actually, in response to some of the safety concerns, they have put in their own safety things. Okay. Like, so now with Tinder and other ones, they have where you can verify your picture. You can, I think somebody was telling me one of them, you can send in like your driver's license for them to verify you. Okay. And, they are monitoring these conversations and the location and things on. But just a couple common sense tips that I'll give people dating online is like we did when we first met. We met in a public place. Okay. Yeah. We met at Starbucks. We both had some work to do. We met, and it gave us a chance to see each other, verify this person is who they are in the
He's
pictures.
really 6'8". No.
Yeah, and then you can kind of take it from there. So I mean, it's not like you have to go straight to someone's house, or you want to meet them at a public place for the first meeting, just to see, okay, yeah, they look like their pictures. They're not catfishing or hat fishing, which I've heard.
What's hat fishing?
Hat fishing is from one of my friends. Is like when guys always have a hat in their profile, and their hairline's messed up or something. So so you can't catfish.
That's new. Okay.
And you can't hatfish, guys. Don't hatfish. But yeah, so those are just some little tips, and another one is maybe let a friend or a family member know what you're doing and where you're going. Hey, I met Johnny off Tinder. We're going to meet at Starbucks. I'm gonna share my location. This is where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it just cuts down on the time for you. Like, who has time if you are working and maybe you're a parent? I mean, you hardly have any time for yourself. So you're going to leave it to chance. Okay, maybe you go out with your friends once a month. Like, that's realistic nowadays with people being busy. You get to go out with your friends once a month, and you're single and you're hoping that you meet somebody worth talking to this one time a month. It just limits your chances. I felt like, I was 20, 26, 27 then when we met. I was like, it'll take me forever to meet somebody if I'm just going out once or twice a month and hoping that that's the time where I'm going to meet somebody that's worth talking to. So I felt like I really needed to hop on some type of, I know a lot of people are doing it through social media now too, like Instagram, DMing things. I feel like that's the same thing as online dating with Tinder or whatever, but you see somebody you like on Instagram and you DM them or whatever. But I'm like, you need that nowadays, especially with COVID. I mean, you had a whole year that you was basically not going anywhere, not meeting any new people. So I'm like, you need online dating really if you're really serious about meeting somebody. I mean, some people might be like, I don't really care, it's fine. I'm not really focused on, relationships right now anyway. But for the people who really want to meet somebody, I feel like it's very, very hard nowadays to do that. Just banking on, I'm going to meet the next best thing at the supermarket when I'm there.
Right. And then I have a friend. I told him about our story, and I tried to encourage him to do the online thing. And he has a lot of pride. So his pride, he doesn't want to do it because he feels like his pride and that he's better than online dating. I mean, needless to say, he's still single. But the thing is he felt like, it's a pride thing, and if people see him on there, he would feel certain type of way for them to see him on there. And I told him, I said, well, if they see you on there, they're on there as well. So it's like,
who are they? What are they going to say?
What does it really matter? I mean, but that's a guy who he wants kids, he wants a wife and things like that. But I'm just telling him, how are you going to get that opportunity? Just not getting, active in the dating scene. But hey, that's just so don't be worried or prideful about, somebody sees me here, or they see, well, for them to see, they have to be on there as well.
So they're clearly looking for something too.
Right.
And I feel like I met like a lot of the people on there are professional people, because those are the people that don't have time. The people that have time to be at the club all the time, you might not with them. Like you might be at the club, or out and about once a month or twice. But these people who are frequent, why are you always here? You don't have anything going on. You're not busy. You're not tired. Like, I'm like, those weren't really the people that I wanted to meet, at least not for a serious relationship. I really want to meet the people who are busy and they're like, for the little time that I have, I want to kind of weed out the BS and meet some people that might really be worth my time. So, I mean, like I said, everybody's story is different. And my friend who told me about it was actually in New York at the time. And the New York Tinder scene was a completely different scene than the Houston Tinder scene. Because we were talking about who we met or what kind of the guys were like on Tinder, and her stories were way different than mine. But so, I mean, it can depend on, I think, geographic location. Sometimes depends on, the mindset as far as dating. Do people really want to date seriously or not? But New York was not that scene. They wanted to have tonight is for tonight. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I mean, I think the bottom line for us, I mean, like we said, we met back in 2013. We got married in 2017. You know, everything worked out for us. So we have a success story. So I'm always like a Tinder fan. What was the little line you said? We said we should patent it first before. What you used to say? Where swipe right, something about swiping. What's the little line? You can't remember it?
It was family all because two people.
Oh yeah, right. Family all because two people swiped right. So we said we could be like the Tinder commercial for that. Maybe we'll do something with that one day. But anyway, success story for us. I know everybody's story is different, but I would say give it a try. I think, Jock. I mean, what do you have to lose? You could the same risk that you take meeting somebody and exchanging numbers on the street or DMing somebody. It's the same. So I would say take the chance. Just like we said, be smart about it. Just like if you were going on a date with somebody you met out, you don't know that person, so you want to be, share your location, be safe about it. But I think online dating is definitely worth a try if you want to try to meet somebody that you could potentially
and especially in these times of COVID. I mean, different parts of the country, take COVID and they handle COVID differently. But for the people who still are conscious about COVID and still want to limit their contact to, certain amount of people, they don't want to go to large gatherings and things like that. I think COVID has definitely changed the way that we have looked at doing things, and I think online dating falls under that as well. I feel like more people that before the pandemic wouldn't have tried online dating. I think they have changed some of their views because of the pandemic. So
that's true. Yep. So I hope this video was helpful. Maybe somebody who's on the fence about online dating will see us. We were a Black couple. We got on there. We met each other. We were able to obviously have a successful relationship. Now we have a business together. It worked out. So if you, I don't think any, let me see if there's any comments in here. But if you're watching this video or you're watching the replay, make sure you comment below. Let us know what you think about online dating. If you've tried it, if you're another success story, if you met on Tinder and you got married, let us know what you think. I think Vivian said, I think you have to be cautious and get to know the person and not jump into anything quickly. I definitely agree with that. You don't want to jump into anything too quickly, online dating or otherwise. I mean, I think you need to kind of vet a person before you start, dating and getting into something really serious. I don't know if we did that specifically, but
no,
we but it worked out.
Yvonne Pierce, I definitely don't know. What is it that you don't know, or what you don't know about the online dating part, or
you're not sure about online dating? I think it can be. I don't know. I just felt like I just need to jump into it because I would never meet anybody if not never, but I would just have a difficult time meeting new people if I didn't try online dating. So that's what kind of led me to it. And then my friend told me about it and it sounded, I actually enjoyed just swipe right, swipe left. It was kind of fun, honestly. You can kind of just look through pictures with no strings attached until you want there to be strings attached to, as opposed to, sometimes you're out and a guy might approach you and it might be too much, like it's aggressive.
Right.
And you're at this place, let's say you're at a restaurant or something and somebody's just in your face and you just don't really want to talk to them. If you're online, you can just swipe left and keep it moving.
Yeah, and I think Vivian, I think that, like Tracy said, I think the online, it gives you a little better control of the pace and just of the attention or what you want to be receptive to. Because I mean, nowadays you hear horror stories all the time, right? I've heard a story about a guy who tried to ask for a woman's number, she didn't give it to her, and he shot her. So crazy. I feel like online, you don't have that face-to-face pressure to where if you don't want to reply to somebody, you can just not reply or swipe left or keep it moving. But when a person's, there in person, it's more pressure for you to at least try to let them down easy or talk to them. I know a lot of women now that they tell me, friends of mine, they tell me that when a guy tries to holler at them in person, they just give him the number. Even if they know that they don't like him or they're not going to be interested in him, they just give him a number because they don't want any smoke. They want to avoid the getting cussed out. F you, then you don't want to give me a number, and just depression, the horror stories that you hear about, because people, they don't take rejection well. I think online you can handle how you reject or move on from people better than in person.
So Yvonne said, which app is best? I don't. We use Tinder. I didn't use any. Did you use any other dating apps?
Well, I did, and I've heard about some. So Yvonne, I want to boo, but I'm unsure how to pick online. Hold on, what was the other one? Which app is best? I think I like the block button is necessary. Well, Yvonne, yeah, you bring up a lot of good points. The block button is definitely necessary, and don't be afraid to use it. Like I said, it's not. It's to me, it's not as much pressure, and it's easier to just block somebody. Whereas somebody in person, if you want to walk away from them, they can follow you and just different things. So, I think the good ones that I've heard about, Tinder definitely. There's one called BLK that is kind of like Tinder, but more centered for Black people.
Okay.
Another one that I heard is a good one is Bumble. I don't know.
Okay, I've heard Bumble. Yeah, Bumble. I've heard Bumble.
And the good thing about Bumble is when you match, the woman has to make the first move. So, you only speak if you really want to into the guy. The guy can't talk to you before you talk to him. So, to briefly answer your question, Yvonne, I think Tinder, Bumble, BLK. I think those are good ones. I've heard about Christian Mingle. I haven't really.
I haven't. I don't know anybody
I haven't used it. I don't know anyone who's used it. I think a good ones people used to like was Black People Meet.
Yeah, people used to like that. eHarmony, I hear about people using still. But I think eHarmony has changed it to where like they have different tiers, and then you have to pay for certain tiers. Like if you want to know certain information about the person, like if you want access to more information, I think eHarmony has made it like where you have to pay, which I mean Tinder when we were using it was free, which was appealing. So I don't know if Tinder has changed since then.
Well, they changed a little bit with it's still free, but the free accounts you get a certain number of swipes.
Oh, okay.
And the unlimited, you can swipe when you pay, you can get unlimited swipes, and I think you can see who likes you before you like them.
Okay.
So it gives you more insight. But that's another one. Another one that I looked at before this. We did this one. It's called Hinge. I don't really know about
Hinge. I've heard about
They say it's supposed to be it's set up so that you eventually delete it. So I don't know, but I haven't tried that.
And
one.
I've heard of the League too. Christian Mingle is let's go.
Well, Sharon, I am over 60 and very hesitant about dating. Well,
I would say online dating is good for that because you can take it, you can do it at your own pace.
And the other good thing about online dating is they base it off your age and you can set limits based on your age. So you say you're over 60. So what you can do on your profile, you can put your age, and typically what the algorithms in the dating apps is they try to show you people that are within maybe 5 or 7 years of your age, both sides, right? So, and some of them even have where you can put in the age that you're looking for, right? So if you're 60 and over and you want to only date guys that are 60 and over, you can limit it to that. But I mean, hey, if you're feeling like you want to have a younger man, then you can limit it to that too. Like you don't want old guys, you want young guys, you can do that too. So it kind of the thing about online dating that I like is the thing about online dating that I like is it puts you more in control of who you're interacting with, right? It's not like in the public where someone can come up to you that is unwarranted and unwanted and interact with you. You kind of control who you interact with, and that's a good point by Sharon by saying that, hey, I'm over 60, so that's good for you because you can limit who you interact with on your app.
Right, and they don't even have to have your phone number. Like that's one thing that I liked about Tinder. I can be messaging a bunch of people, but only these 2 people have my number. I've exchanged numbers with them. The other people, I'm not sure about them. They can only message me on Tinder. So they don't know where I live. They don't have any other information about me but what I put on Tinder. and they don't even have my number, so I don't have to worry about. I know Yvonne brought up block button. Like I don't have to worry about blocking them or anything. If I don't want to talk to them anymore, I take them off my Tinder messaging, and that's it.
Yvonne had a funny message. I've heard that Christian mingle is for people who are sexually free. Well, I don't know.
That's a little off for Christian mingle.
I've never heard that, but I have seen jokes online about Christian mingle. People that are on there, and they're doing wild stuff on there. But I've never had Christian mingle, so I couldn't really, confirm or deny that. But it was just funny. I just wanted to read that.
Vivian, I'm gonna ask Larita. I have to ask her. She's not on here right now, so I would call her out, but I'm gonna ask her. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think online dating offers a lot of positive, I think there's more positive than negatives as long as you're smart with it. Just like you should be if you date somebody out there and you meet somebody, organically, like they say. But I feel like if you're crunched for time and you want to meet more people, get on these online dating apps. If you try it because you watched this video, I want you to comment below and tell us how it goes. Only if it goes good, though. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But thanks for engaging with us, y'all. I think y'all had some really good questions and comments. Yeah.
I think it's good.
Oh yeah.
Sharon, some are married pretending to be single. Well, I mean, that can happen if you meet somebody in person too.
That's true. Yeah.
And that could happen in person. You can meet somebody in person who could be married and be pretending to be single. So, I mean, and what I was going to say was, hold on, you can also make them video chat. Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You can online gives you a chance more to take things at your pace and at your discretion and with who you want to interact with. Mm-hmm. But the other thing I was going to say was, even if you're bored, I mean, it's just something good to do. Like if you're bored and you don't have anything to do and you're single and you just download it and just do it when you're bored, it's no obligation. You could just look, oh, he looks nice. Oh, because my thing is, you never know what's going to come about it. And there's a whole sea of people that are online that you will never run across in your day-to-day life. Mm-hmm. Why limit yourself?
Even if it's just for conversation. Like I know people who use online dating and they talk to people that aren't even in their immediate vicinity because they may not be ready to, really go out on dates yet. They want to kind of get their feet wet first. So they just want to have conversations with people and kind of get to know somebody, or they prefer to have someone who lives out of town so that they can go visit that place and then, maybe go out on a couple dates and that person is not in their hometown. So people do it so many different ways. Like some people are looking for somebody to marry. Some people just want somebody to talk to. And we don't really have time to go on dates and do all that. But we just check in with each other, text each other, call each other. And that's good enough for now. And if you want to take it further than that, we'll decide. But I just think it whatever you want it to be, you can make it as opposed to, somebody just being in your face.
Yeah, Sharon. Thanks. I think you should try it. Like I said, where's the sex story? Tracy has a friend. I have a friend that they met on there and they've got married. So, I mean, as we see, we're living in different times. I mean, things are just steadily changing. So you might as well, Yvonne, as long as they pay for my wings and margaritas, that's on them. If they're married, I can block them later. Hey, I heard that.
Hey, wings
and
margaritas.
Get your wings and margaritas. And make them pay for it if they married and keep it moving.
Right.
That's how you do it.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, online dating, we say definitely go for it. Like I said, if you haven't got a chance to comment in the live, watch it. We're a success story. Comment below. Let us know. Thanks for joining TXT Tells All.
Do you think we should post the names of the ones that we said to try in the comments?
We'll definitely in the description box when we post this on TXT Tells All. We'll post the one. We'll post Tinder that we did, and we'll post the other ones that Jock mentioned, so you guys can check them out. I'll put the link in the description box. So if you haven't heard of those other online dating apps and you want to use them, we'll post the links in the description box so that you guys have access to that information. And if you know of any that we didn't mention, go ahead and comment that in the comments below too, so other people can get some ideas from you. Got anything else for him?
No, thank you guys. I
right,
really
y'all.
enjoyed it. The interaction, the
Thanks
messages.
for joining the live.
Thank you.
Go on online date and be free.
Right.
All right, we'll check y'all later.
All right, bye.